Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Now, this is called XahTV, maybe. And today is 2019, May 2nd, Saturday, 4 o'clock p.m. California time. Welcome all. And today we have topics, of course. We have some topics. I don't know what I'm talking about, but we have topics. And the topics is going to be, people ask me questions on Discord, Xah Discord, so I'm going to answer them. And that's gonna be today's topic. And I have a few others, but I didn't, well, let's just talk about the topics, okay? So good morning, Alan, morning, Bart, and morning, many others. Ronnie Reyes. Okay, so let's talk about topic. Okay, let's go to Discord, and let's go up here, starting here. And Alan says, can you make predictions for the future of web technologies? Specifically, do you think WebAssembly plus low-level stuff will take off on the internet? Will JavaScript dominance be challenged? Okay, I'm going to answer that question. Why do I cover one of my eyes? Because I've got cross-eye problem, and I think I had it when I was young. Usually you cannot see it. You will not notice it until I look at you from one of my eye. You can see I switch. So usually you cannot see it, notice it, but it's getting bad. It's getting worse in the past 2 years because I've been staring at the computer screen non-stop for up to 20 hours a day for 10 years in the past, since about 2010. So it's critically important you take breaks. Actually, I've been sitting in front of computers all my life. I'm a nerd. I'm a superior nerd. I'm an extreme schizoid nerd, which is a topic I talked about many times. And so I sit in front of the computer more than anyone. So it's gonna be a world record, something like that, in the past 10 years. If you measure statistically how long you sit in front of a computer. So on average, in the past 10 years, I would be the top. Let's say the top 200 in United States of all people. So that's how long I sit in front of computers, and I type all day and night. So that's the answer to one of the questions. Now back to the JavaScript question. We have so many questions, so I'm gonna get them. Okay. Why did my background change? That's an interesting question, because my mom died. Okay, my mom died in January, and there are changes in life. So now you are looking at a big room behind me. I'm not ready to show it. I'm not gonna, because there are some issues. So I'm not gonna talk much about that. Now let's get back to JavaScript. Do you think JavaScript? What do you think about the WebAssembly and those technologies? Will they become extremely popular? Actually, I don't know. I think, I don't have specific opinion about that, but in general, as technology marches on, WebAssembly is, it's been around for a few years, and I think, it's gonna be around, and it's going to stay, and it's probably will become bigger and bigger. And right now, not that many people use it. I mean, for average web developers, you create websites, you just code JavaScript or TypeScript or whatever, several JavaScript on top of JavaScript languages, wrappers, and so on, or you compile to JavaScript and so on. We talked about this many times, but there's WebAssembly, which is kind of a subset of JavaScript that other languages can, it's standardized, so any other language will compile to it. And in fact, you can write in code in C or C++ and compile to WebAssembly, and it'll run. And by that means, there are many demonstrations that you can see they are running Windows 95 Windows 3.0 from 1995 on the web, or some other old programs, DOS or whatever. You can run them on the web now, and they are using WebAssembly. So they are, the C++ or C code, they are compiled to WebAssembly. So it's a big technology. It's a great technology. It's going to stay. But will it replace JavaScript? How, what will happen to it? Will it becomes, like almost, it's like every language compiles to it? I don't know. As I don't have a strong opinion on that. And that's low level stuff. I'm not into low level languages and stuff, so fuck them. Okay. So but it's a good thing. I think it'll become more popular, but I don't know to what degree, or will JavaScript become less and less critical. JavaScript will not become less and less critical because it's part of the, it's the most standard, normal, approachable programming language when you want to do web dev, so it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's not going to subside anytime soon, but WebAssembly will be pretty important, I think. So another question from Alan, aesthetic art question, discussed here a while back. What are your thoughts on more modern remakes, such as Notre Dame Cathedral, new style roof? Okay, now let me tell you about that story. Now keep the comments going, okay? Put the name to me so I can see it. Now, am I doing okay? I see you are aware of the portal. What do you think about it? It's crap? Okay, someone asked me, well, the Aratus, what's his name? It's one of the questions that we'll get into. This guy, okay, it's a crackpot, crap, geometric unity, crap. We're gonna talk about that, but let's go back to one thing at a time. Okay, so what's the next question? So let's go back to Discord, XahTV Discord. Fantastic people, variegated opinions. So Bart, join Discord. Okay, so aesthetic art question. So what do I think of Notre Dame Cathedral? Now let me tell you the story. So Notre Dame Cathedral, about a year ago, last year, 4 months ago or so, they burned down. Well, part of it burned down, so it's a big giant disaster, and everyone is, oh my god, the history is gone. The fucking brainless fucks, these normal people, okay, pop, the masses, they don't think, they don't read history, they don't know nothing about history, nothing. They are no nothingers. They just they talk on YouTube, on Twitter. This millennial gen, they know nothingers. But then when something like this burn down, it happens. And then they are like, oh my god, oh history is burned down. But what do you know? What the fuck do you know about history? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so it burned down, and it's a political issue because Notre Dame Cathedral, it's a cathedral, right? So it's for Christians, Catholics primarily. And today in the politics, you have in USA, America, for example, you have the Republicans and versus the Democrats. Oh shit. So am I still doing okay? Depths on millennial gen. Okay, so I guess I'm still doing okay. So anyway, so the Notre Dame Cathedral, burning down, it is a political issue, a giant political point, because in USA, for example, you have the Republican Party versus the social justice fuckheads party, the Democrats, okay? And the Republicans are usually mostly, they are based on Christianity, they are religious people following tradition and other things. In general, Christianity is a big thing in the right wingers, you might call it. Meanwhile, the social justice scan party, the Democratic Party, they are pro-Islamic. Okay, so there's a big fight, And every day in the past few years, we hear, oh, bombing, Islamic terrorists, the bomb here, bomb there, burning down this church burned down, here and there. So it's a big issue now. So now the question is, how did it happen? Who burned it down? Is it accident, or is it some Islamic people? I'm not sure actually. Anyway, there's conspiracy theories. Okay, I haven't looked into exactly what, but let's assume it's an accident. I suppose, I guess, let's assume it's an accident. But anyway, it became a political issue. Then so this cathedral is how many years old? Let's see. This cathedral is 1,000 years old. Let's see. Location. Denomination, Catholic, tradition, Roman Rite, website. Oh, they got a website. Oh, modern. Status, damaged by fire. Style, French Gothic. Year built, 1163 to 1345. So it's 700 years old. So it's huge. You have to imagine 700 years ago we don't have technology. That's before the industrial revolution. Before we have steam engines and all that. Well, we probably had steam engines since the ancient Greeks, but we don't have the giant steam engine train. Anyway, so this is pretty old, and they build religion is the in many ways religion holds people together, holds human animals together. So you have a goal instead of being goalless like me. So you have some sort of a goal, religion, and this is huge and giant. It's a great undertaking. It took them 200 years to build it, and religion is very much tied to power and control and politics, because back then it is religion that priests they how do you call it, metrocracy, or what? Well, anyway, it's ruled by religious people. Okay, like ruled. The world is ruled by Pope. The white people world, and similarly in Tibet, it is ruled by the Tibetan whatever is his name, fuckheads. They have a special term like the Pope. Okay. Anyway, so religion, it's a big thing, but anyway, it burned down and it's terrible, and they are trying to rebuild it. And the question is, how you gonna rebuild the spire? The thing that points up. The term is called a spire, a special terminology for it. So the question is, what's my opinion about it? So the leftists, they want to rebuild it with some kind of modern style, like just a totally new spire. Okay. Meanwhile, the traditionalist, the right winger, typically their general opinion is that they want it to be, to rebuild it to be just the way it is. So what is my opinion? Actually, I don't have much opinion about that. So this could go either way. Now, politics is one thing, but as far as what style it should be, it could be either way. Okay. The reason that the right wingers choose to pick, they want it to be the way it is, versus the left gang, they want to to be some kind of new modern things that represent unity or whatever fuck, the leftist. You see, these two opinions actually are not really tied to any concrete, even they are not actually even based on some concrete political ideology. Not really. It's like they have nothing to do with anything. You can build it in a modern way if you want, and still be Christians. For example, it doesn't have to be that way or this way. So, but the reason the left wingers, the Republicans wanted one way, and the left wingers want the other way, is because it's just because for some issues it's a simple decision to say which side you are on. It's just like that, but really have nothing to do with what. Okay, so that's about that. What do you think, Alan? Is that answer satisfactory? Do you have additional questions? Good morning, Emily. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, now actually let me go close the curtains in to prevent prying eyes. You see my background? You see my background? It's Emily colors. You see it's pink purple. And I have here, you see Emacs. We haven't shown Emacs today. Okay, let me close the curtain. Okay, I'm back. So anything else? Thomas Wall. Okay, let me go answer some questions. Okay, so let's see. We got lots of questions, but we have the questions on Discord first. And over here, if you want to ask me a question, type my name. Okay, so I can read it. Did you change to VS Code yet? No, but Ronnie Reyes says, I see you are aware of the portal. Yeah, okay, so that we're gonna get to it. Why did your background change? I answered that every ASEAN has a cross-eye situation. Do they? No. I have cross-eye, so actually I do see double sometimes, especially when I'm tired. Can you see the future? Go to considered harmful. Yes, indeed. Go to is harmful. Justin Scarfy. Hey, Justin, you are unbanned. Justin Scarfy says, I got banned from your Discord. No, you are unbanned, you idiot. Okay, you can join. You can come back now. Okay, so let's go back to Discord questions. Okay, Discord questions. Click. Next question, Alan says, Emacs aesthetics question. Why did you choose your signature honeydew background in Emacs? Do you ever oscillate around and change theme stuff? No. Theme are the idiotic thing. Okay, theme. Do you know what's my most famous page on my Emacs website? Let me show you. Let me show the power of my website. So XahTV website, Ergo Emacs is the most popular Emacs tutorial. You'll find every answer about Emacs and Emacs Lisp you need, and also things you don't need to know. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. that is my website. Such as the idiocy of swapping control key with the caps lock key. That's extreme idiocy, championed by all the nerds, all the Emacs nerds. They're telling you, oh, you need to swap your control key and the caps lock key. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. For example, here I have 100 articles on that. Tell you why that's no good. With reason, itemized reason. Okay, so Alan's question, so do you know which one of my pages is more popular on my Emacs website? There are like 300, 400 articles. That is, let me show you. Go to Emacs tutorial and you go down to theme. Okay, theme. Okay, not here. So you go to Emacs init, search for theme. There it is. Set color theme. Oh, wonderful color themes. Look. Oh, dark dark background. Oh, this is great. Now my eyes don't hurt anymore. Oh, now this is great. This is so cool. Emacs color theme. This is cool. No, okay. Don't do the theme my ass. Theme nothing. I don't want no theme nothing. Okay. The best user interface, the most ugly user interface, the best it is. Okay. I don't care about themes nothing. I want functionality, pure functionality. No themes, no fluff, no nothing, no prettiness, no cuteness. Okay, this is my Emacs appearance. But why do I have a my color background? Let me show you. Okay, called LCD. Okay, not LSD. LCD. LCD stand for list color display, which is a brief I've set. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you my fantastic settings. Okay, so let's call LCD here so you can see all the colors, all the wonderful colors in Emacs. Meta X LCD, but you don't have that command because I have a brief. Now let's go to my brief. No, not a brief, actually alias. Okay, so let me go a brief. Okay, let me just use my super fast open bookmark to open my a brief. Now go to the directory, just 2 key press, go to the directory, and you need to see my keys, my fantastic keys here. Okay, now notice the keys. There's no control, nothing. That CG, you see that says CG control G there. It's actually I'm pressing one single key, but because that key is mapped to control G, so that's why it shows there. So when I use Emacs, there is no control meta, nothing. I'm using stuff like keys. So now go back to the directory. Let's go to alias. Okay, so search for, do I have an alias file? No, so it's in settings. So go to the settings file, search for alias, and there it is. Let's magnify. Okay, magnify so you can see all my aliases here. So instead of alias the yes or no P command to Y or N P. Okay, so instead of asking type yes or no, just type Y or N. That's sufficient. So this is one way to do it. Make it an alias. So one of the alias, let's search for LCD. So you can see here, LCD is aliased to the command list colors display. So you can do meta X list color display, and you see all these colors. And let's pick one. Okay, so let's say turquoise or whatever you call it. Let's say CN1. Okay, so CN1, split the window. Now again, look at my keystrokes and commands on the right. Okay, that's efficiency. So copy the CN1, open a new buffer, and XahLisp mod. Okay, XahElisp mod. Okay. Now I want set background. Okay, not search backward. Okay, so actually set background color. Okay, wait, let me do it again. Set background color. I don't have a brief for that. Set background. Okay, color. There it is. What am I doing? Okay, so anyway, set background color cyan. Okay. So you see that code? Now I'm gonna run it. Now I got the cyan background. So that's how I set up my background. But Alan's question is, why do I use honeydew? You see my color is honeydew. Honey honeydew. Okay, run it. So that's honeydew. Well, not there is no particular reason I choose this color, because the only reason is that I don't want a white background, because white background is kind of too harsh for the eye. So I kind of just choose a, yeah, that's white. Okay, so let's go back to honeydew. So you can see the difference. You see this is honeydew and this is white background, and this over here is pink or something, Emily's color. Okay, so that's XahTV. Okay, so that's that question answered. Let's move on to the next question. So yeah, in summary, I don't I don't care about themes. I don't want any complexity. I don't want no themes, nothing. The simplest functional, that's for me efficiency. And I was using white background for like 15 years, but then the theme, the theme started to appear on the web, to people talking about themes. And I, when I saw that, oh, okay, so maybe I should change background to something not so too bright. So that's why I just picked honeydew. So next question, Alan. Another, okay. So please flame distro-hoppers. so Alan is now into Linux, and Alan is using Arch Linux, and Alan is also getting into FreeBSD. Distro-hoppers, the tech nerds geeking. Which one is the best? Which one is the best Windows tiling manager? They have to try them all. They spend hours, which I did. The Tian Zi. Good morning, a guy from China. Eric Chen, China. Good morning, guys. Okay, so next question. Let's see, next question. How long have I been streaming? How long? Where does it say? Okay, here. I've been streaming for 26 minutes. Okay. You are on top of chat. You are on top chat. You should switch to live chat. What are you talking about? You are on top chat. So you or on top chat. What does that mean? So am I doing okay, my live stream? Okay, let's go to the next question, which is flame distro-hoppers. Okay, that's a Linux thing. If you use Linux, you probably are a nerd, a tech geeker. That's what you are interested. Reaper, hey Reaper, so what do you mean drop down? Oh, okay. Oh, the live chat thing, the censorship, the Google censorship. Looks like they removed that feature. I don't know. I don't want to mess with it. Okay, so okay, next question. Let's see Discord. We're gonna get all the questions, interesting questions. So Reaper says, I would like to know your thoughts on Clojure and its community, and why the tech community should or shouldn't adopt Clojure more. Actually, I talked about that one or more than one times. Clojure is the Clojure is the heaven for Java coders, the pen. Okay, so let me tell you why. Okay, why Clojure is dense. Reaper, why Clojure is dense? Full detailed answer is here. Actually I talked about this topic for 1 hour or so, and maybe probably more than one time. At least mentioned more, at least one time I talked about it in depth. Anyway, so Clojure is okay. Here's a summary. So I have two articles that's good to read. Okay, so let me show you. First, hold on a second. First article is this one. Let's go to XahTalk show. Okay, let's write down what we talked about. Okay, so magnify. Okay, Clojure is hard to learn. Okay, why Clojure is dense? So you go read it, and there's another article that's good to read. Okay, here. Clojure's popularity, a tango with Java. And now I'm going to tell you my opinion about Clojure in summary. Okay, basically don't use Clojure. Clojure is idiocy. Well, not that it's no. Clojure is pretty good. Okay, here's the problem. Now, Clojure is a great language. Okay, the syntax, the language, the design, the semantics of Clojure is great. However, it's tainted, it's infected with the Java virus, the Java fuck, and the Java virtual machine fuck. And how it's not just that, because the Clojure kind of needs Java to survive. They suck on the blood of Java programmers. They need, because you know why? Because Java is the most popular programming language, and they are loved by imperative idiots. That is non-functional programming, but they are big-time idiots. Industry standard. They are millions, billions of users of Java, because they are Java, some microsystems. The long big history I've talked about many times. So Java, Java is very popular. It's a kind of normal-ish language, object-oriented language. Very popular. It's one of the top 5 most popular language. And these people typically don't know nothing about functional programming. They are industrial programmers. They are enterprise programmers. Like they do database, they do accounting, they do trading. They are not interested. Oh, fantastic graphics technology, gaming technology. They are not interested in AI. They are not interested in that. They are business people. Java coders. They are suits. They wear tie and suits to work. And the Clojure inventor is one of them. This guy, Rich Hickey. His background. He's a Java expert. His background is coding in Java every day. Enterprise coding, the most boring shit. That's what he do. And he do that for like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and he found problems, he want to improve it, and he loved Lisp, and so he created Clojure, Lisp. But however, there's a problem. What is the problem? The problem of Clojure is that it's intertwined with Java. Intimacy, intertwined, like you cannot separate them. It's intertwined. When you talk about Clojure, you have to touch Java. You cannot not touch. You have to touch intimately Java. So they are intertwined, like that, okay? And you cannot even pull out. Why is that? Because, and I realized why. I coded Clojure for like 2 years full time, because thanks to this David, what's his David Pollack guy, that guy who I talked about this before. He is the creator of the most popular web framework in Scala language. Okay, I think the framework is called Spring. No, not Spring, something. But anyway, it's the most famous web framework for the Scala language. Okay, David Pollack created that, and he is he helped me 5 years ago. So anyway, he introduced me to Clojure because I'm doing a project for him. So that's how I started to learn Clojure back in. So this is 2016, and I dived into Clojure fully, in depth for more than a year, and then so the Clojure language, the syntax and semantics is great, but however, the intertwining with Java is fucked it up completely. Now, normally, if you are a Lisp fan, you might think, okay, Clojure is Lisp, right? It's one of the Lisp, and it's fantastic, and it's used by industry, so it's great. It is, but except it's intertwined with Java. That means if you want to know, if you are like me, okay, when you study a language, you study in depth, like you want to understand everything, how it works. At least not how it works, but at least the functionality, like the API. From the API point of view or math point of view, you don't necessarily care about how it actually works underneath. As most programmers, you don't need to care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about low-level stuff. I just care about how do I use this function, what functions are there, how they work together. That's what I care. Mathematical treatment of programming language, and so I study Clojure a lot. But every time you want to understand, Clojure, you have the concept of sequences and you have the concept of list. But every time you want to understand them in depth, okay, Not just, today's millennial generation programmers, they know nothing. They are idiots. When they program, they don't understand what exactly it does. They don't understand how, when they call a function, they don't know how exactly what that function do. All they know is that, oh, it works. These fuckheads, today's more of, today's generation programmers are like that. They don't understand what it means. And I'm not talking about the compiler, how it works underneath. That's what I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, so Clojure, when you want to understand what it is, how the functions that when you want to understand language, you realize that you have to know Java. You start to learn Java. You have to. Some people doesn't agree because they don't know. There are some people online, Twitter. Just a few days ago, he disagreed. He read my articles and he disagreed that you have to know Java. And that's great because he actually read my articles in detail, but he disagreed. But I didn't have time to look into exactly to answer his question. But anyway, my opinion is that every time you want to know something, the detail of the language, you have to know Java. Basically, you have to know the entirety of the fucking Java with its object systems and interface. Java, not Clojure and not Lisp. Okay, you have to know that. But besides that, if you want to understand how Clojure, to be a good programmer in Clojure, you have to understand the entire fucking Java, including the inheritance, its interface, its its collection, collection object interface, and so on. So I detail those in these two articles. Why Clojure is dense. Not just that, not just you have to understand. Besides understanding the entirety of Java, you also have to understand, of course, functional programming, Lisp symbols, and of course parentheses, and many and also quite a few concepts about Clojure itself. Clojure invented by itself. Not even Haskell programmers understand it. Okay, Clojure has invented itself new technology that doesn't exist in any other languages. But that's great. Okay, because that's innovation. But my primary complaint is the intertwining with Java. I don't want to know Java. Okay, I don't want JVM. I don't want talk to Java idiots. I just want Lisp and Clojure, but that's not the case for Clojure. Clojure are intimately intertwined with Java. And why is that? Okay, first of all, is it really true? Now you read my article, okay, to judge for yourself. Is it really true that Clojure is intimately intertwined with Java? That in order to understand anything in Clojure, you have to basically know the entirety of Java. Otherwise, I would say you don't understand Clojure. Many programmers today, they say, oh, I code Clojure for 10 years, for 2 years or something, or JavaScript. But if I ask them a simple question, they don't know. They don't know. Oh, I don't know. I just know I type this and it works. These idiots. Okay, that's Clojure. So first of all, try to, you can decide for yourself. Is Clojure really intertwined with Java? Is it necessary to know? You have to know lots of Java stuff to understand the Clojure language as a good programmer. Okay, that's one thing. Now, if you agree it is intertwined with Java, there's the question: why is it that way? Can we? I mean, wouldn't it be great if Clojure is, you have a new version of Clojure that's entirely independent of Java? It's possible. However, they are not doing that. Why? Because I realize the reason Clojure is intimately tied with Java is because it's a marketing strategy. They can tell these 1 billion Java programmers, hey guys, Java, come to Clojure. We are functional programming. Oh, by the way, you don't have to learn anything because everything you know also works here because we are Java compatible. We are Clojure. We live in Java. We suck the blood of Java coders. Come over here. That is my story of Clojure, okay, Reaper. So that answers your question. Okay, so I guess next question. Let's see how am I doing? Okay, so I hope I'm still alive and talking. Oh, Reaper gave me eight $100. Thank you, Reaper. Okay, am I doing good? So how long have I been talking? Let's see, 40 minutes. Okay, that's pretty long. So I guess we can do 10 minutes more or 20 minutes more. We have a lot more topics actually. What is the best way to learn a language in depth? That's a good question. You just study, okay? So, but anyway, wait, because I have other questions coming in. Emily says, what are your thoughts on ML, machine learning or meta language? I don't think I've heard you talk about it. Okay, let me tell you, Emily, my opinion on ML. Okay, I make an exception to answer that first. Well, because I wanted to answer other questions I looked at here. I have. So what is my what is my opinion on ML? First of all, what does ML stand for? Oh, ML. Yeah, I know what's ML. ML stands for meta language. Do you know what's a meta language? Meta language is the father of Haskell. Now, meta language is created to solve a proof system. Okay, meta language. It's called meta language. Then after that, you have standard ML. Okay, SML, standard ML, standard meta language. Then you have object ML. Then you have OCaml. No, meta language. Then you have standard ML, a variation, a branch, a dialect. Then you have Camel. Okay, CAML, Camel. They stand for category something something. Okay, meta language. Then you have OCaml. OCaml you probably heard of. OCaml is the most popular ML now. So when I see people say ML, the abbreviation, I think of OCaml, the meta language, but I realize that's not so. Today when they say ML, that means machine language, popularized by Google Fox. Google, AI technology, robotics, machine learning, this or that, JavaScript, Python, fuck. Okay, so what is my my opinion on machine learning? It's great. Okay, I suppose it's great. it's one of the technology. It's being bloated up, in the past 5 years because of Google. Yeah, mostly because of Google, brainwashing people. So why am I saying so? What's my opinion? So my opinion on machine learning is it's machine learning from a overall humanity point of view, not pop, not fashion, okay, not fashion and fad and millennials fuck, okay, from the overview of computer science, the history of computer science, the history of all of the universe, the fucking universe. My ML, machine learning, is one of the human technology. It's a great technology, but it's not. Thank you, Alan, for the money. It's a great technology, but it's not all important, nor is it all powerful. Okay. Okay, so I would, for example, let me put the context. So machine learning is great, but however, I would, so what's the example that's more important or maybe more valuable? For example, proof systems, okay, proof theory. That is what meta language stands for. Meta language is invented to do proofs, logics. So logic systems, proof systems, proof theory, that in my opinion is very important. In fact, okay, machine learning is part of the AI, okay, artificial intelligence, the study of artificial intelligence, and there are many approaches. There's machine learning, there's neurons, the neural network. There's evolutionary programming, or genetic programming. They are two different things. So there are several approaches to artificial intelligence. Now, machine learning happens to be the most successful or popular in the past 10 years. But on the other hand, let me tell you, okay, there's an opposite approach, which was the most popular in the 1980s. Now that is called symbolic. What is it called? Symbolic AI. I guess the general term is symbolic AI. Machine learning is kind of the statistical AI. That is, they rely on statistics to predict what will happen, to understand things. Okay, Kathy. Okay, good morning, Kathy. Now, Kathy is an expert on machine learning. That is her expertise. That's what she studied. She is doing. Kathy, you are doing a PhD, right? So anyway, so machine learning is the most popular today, but it's just one of the approach of AI. Okay, one of the great technology, and I'm not too interested personally in that technology. I am more interested in the symbolic AI, which is the arrangement of Lisp and meta language proof systems. Okay, you don't, for example, let's say language translation, okay, or let's say visual, recognition of faces, or speech recognition. It so happens that today these are solved more successfully by the approaches of neural networks and machine learning. They are kind of tied together. It so happens, they are successful, but it's not necessarily true that machine learning approach is the ultimate method towards these problems. Not necessarily. On the other hand, the other approach is symbolic AI, which in general it means that you analyze the problem and you deconstruct the problem you turn it into a logical problem. In other words, you turn the whole speech recognition, for example, into logic, linguistics. Okay, Alan is a PhD student of linguistics, so Alan is an expert. So there's a branch of science called computational linguistics, right? So in that branch, you analyze languages. You see, you break down their verbs or whatever. You create a system that maps to the language. Then you can use this system to understand language. So that's another approach. So my basic point, my opinion about machine learning, in summary, is that it's just it's one of the technology that happens to be very popular, but I'm not personally interested in it. And also, I'm far more interested in the symbolic approach, proof systems, and others. I think Emily was asking. Emily was asking about meta language. Okay, I went into a giant rant on my own. So about meta language, I don't know too much about it, except I have learned OCaml a little bit. So here's an interesting story. Okay, I think I like, OCaml is great language. OCaml, fuck Haskell, learn OCaml instead. Okay, OCaml. So let's see, OCaml tutorial. Let's search for OCaml tutorial. Let's see, my website comes up. So there it is, OCaml tutorial on the official OCaml website. That one sucks donkey ass. I cannot believe these idiots wrote that tutorial, and I have 10,000 articles on that. Tells you the details why it's no good. Okay, so this one is good. OCaml tutorial by example by XahTV. So I studied OCaml back in 2009. I studied a few months, so I don't have much materials here, but you can kind of spend 1 hour to read it for if you are a beginner. So OCaml tutorial, OCaml is a great language. Okay, I would say it's better than Haskell. Okay, Haskell is very popular today, by the fashionable fad people. popular. Everyone is monad every day. They are monad this and all that. No good. OCaml is better, more practical, faster, and it's just better in many ways. So I would support OCaml. But however, I actually never gained expertise in OCaml. I studied for several months and I stopped. Well, because back then I was planning to use OCaml to replace Python. The history of the languages. Perl, Mathematica, Perl, Python. Then I find Perl sucks. Then I started to learn Python. Python sucks. So I wanted OCaml to be my everyday language. But so what's the reason I stopped learning OCaml? I forgot. But anyway, I never spent much time in OCaml. Then later on, I learned Golang instead. So there it is. My opinion about meta language. So OCaml, okay, learn OCaml. I think it's great. And by the way, if you guys don't know already, that Emily is expert in Erlang. Okay, so I think I talked for too long now. So 51 minutes. So okay, 9 more minutes then. Let's go back to my YouTube here and let's see. Let's kind of wrap up. Let's see who gave me money. So Reaper gave me money. Thank you, Reaper, and thank you, Alan. Okay, so any questions here? Aviation, I see you are aware of the portal. Oh yeah, so I haven't got into that topic yet. Okay, so let's see. So I haven't, so many comments here. I don't have time to read them all. But I'm going to cover, I think, 1 or 2 more questions from the XahTV Discord. So again, if you have a question to me, put my name in it so I can see it, okay? So XahTV, you know what it means. Okay, so if I was user side, you are fine. Okay, good. The portal, the point, actually I don't know how do I get. So I got $15. I haven't looked how do I get the money out of YouTube. I have to look these things. So does anyone know? Any one of you doing YouTubes? Actually, any one of you doing YouTubes, you should say it. Post your link. So I've never learned Java and seems to be fine in the world of work and programming. What is the best way to learn a language? Okay, that's another. Let's talk about that another day. Thoughts on. Eric Chen says thoughts on Anki spaced repetition. What does that mean? I think the term you are looking for is GoFi, good old-fashioned artificial intelligence. I haven't heard of that phrase. I think it's called good old-fashioned artificial intelligence. That's kind of a slang, but the proper term is symbolic artificial intelligence. I think symbolic AI. Yeah. I think you'll find an article on Wikipedia about it. There it is. Very few people is talking about it because everyone is talking about machine learning and neural networks these days. But you can read it. They don't have much material. You see, it's just 1 page, nothing here. Meanwhile, if you go to the neural networks or machine learning, it's fucking 100 pages from Google library. This or Python. Fuck that. Fashion. And you can go to the camps, boot camp, the fucking boot camp jargon. Oh, if you don't know nothing about nothing, You can go to boot camp, and tomorrow you are a machine learning expert. That's a fashionable thing, in Silicon Valley here. And you spew out jargons every day, or machine learning, or statistics, neural networks, variance, and whatnot. Okay, so let's go back to Discord, and we are about to shut down. Let me answer the questions on Discord. Oh, Reaper's question, big question. So, wait, is there another one before it? Oh yeah. So Reaper asked about Clojure, so I gave the answer about Clojure. And Reaper also asked non-technical question. If you have anything interesting, anecdotal accounts on current Chinese economy or society during COVID-19, it would be interesting to hear. Not looking for political stuff, more just everyday accounts of people, or for instance, if factories are going. Okay, yeah. So if you, I don't have opinions like that. Well, I have tons of opinions, but my point is that what I want to say is that if you, that's a good question. If you want to know, ask Chinese people. Ask Chinese people who lives in China, such as Kathy. Kathy here, she is expert. When COVID-19 happened, she was in China, so she witnessed everything. You can ask her. And actually, quite a few other people in Discord, they live in China, some of them. And also on my Twitter, I have quite a few followers. Some of them I follow, they are from China. So I talked about this many times before. If you want to know some other country, or non-English speaking country, don't read New York Times, New York fucking Times, and CAN fuck. They are all fake news. Okay, you want to mix in with local people in another country, in China, in Russia, in Islam, in whatever, Arab, Iraq, Iran, whatever other countries, Spain or French, or Brazil, or India, you want to. And today it's easy. It's actually very easy to do. You just dive in on Twitter or somewhere else. There's lots of forums. If you are willing, the question is, are you willing or not? No pain, no gain. If you really want to understand, let me just use the China example, but it applies to other countries as well, non-English speaking countries. If you really want to know what they actually think, the people of that country, you mix in with the local people of that country. You talk to them. Okay, not like you don't just go in and ask them political questions. No, not like that. You go in, live in their community, talk to them, see what they say every day. Maybe if you don't speak their language, you can ask them questions. Best thing is to understand their language. You learn their language. But usually, for Americans or white people, that's not likely. Except Alan. Alan is a linguist. Alan speaks English, of course, and Chinese, and Spanish, French, Russian, and Japanese, and Korean, right? So anyway, so what I'm saying is that if you want to understand what's the actual thinking of a country, you go to, today it's very easy. The question is, are you willing to spend time to do that? So you go to an online forum of that local people's online forum. Okay, not okay. Yeah, you go in and you mix in with them for a year. You can do that in many channels. Okay, also in gaming communities, for example, Second Life, or whatever you play. World of Warcraft, or whatever game you play. I'm pretty sure there's a community that's just Koreans or Chinese, or Japanese, or especially this is important, especially of countries that are not U.S. alliance. Okay, so for example, Japan. You don't have to do this in particular because what you hear on the news is, you know, so what I'm saying is, especially for countries like China, Russia, the countries that US don't like, they don't speak English. You go in, you want really to know what's going on, what people think. You go into their forums and you mixing with them for a year. Then you will know what they are thinking every day. What's their opinions about politics, about programming, what programming language they use, what they like, what they do not like, what is the truth. You will find out. Not from the CNN fuck, and Fox News fuck, and New York Times. So that's what I'm saying. So I have actually never been to China. So, but I spent 1 year, 2 years, okay, talking to Chinese programmers in China. So I learned a lot of things. And today, and right now, Kathy is actually teaching me quite a lot of things about China slangs. Now, Kathy is in, right? So anyways, so that's my opinion about that. So let's get on to the next question. So, and Ripper is a kind of an academic type. He's usually often interested in from academic style of analysis, of understanding of what happens in the world. But I'm not really into that. That is a good approach, but I'm not much into that. So anyway, so next question. So next question, that's a big question about Lisp. Why hasn't Emacs Lisp turned into a more general purpose language people use outside of Emacs? Well, because Emacs people are idiots. Yeah, I have an article on that. So given Emacs Lisp's success at creating full applications using Emacs as a framework, yeah, that's a good question. I've been complaining about that since like 15 years ago. I have an article on that. Okay, so let's show off my articles. Let's see, Emacs Common Lisp. Maybe that I'll find the article. It's an old article. I don't even remember. There it is. Thoughts on Common Lisp Scheme Lisp based Emacs. Okay, so let's see if this is the article. I'm not sure this is the article. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, so here's my answer basically about that question. I mean, the question is why is Emacs, Emacs Lisp is so useful, but why is it just a niche language inside Emacs? Why haven't the Emacs people made Emacs Lisp to become the general purpose language that can be used outside of Emacs? Okay, well, I think that's a question, and I think that's something we could do. I mean, it's possible. However, the reason it hasn't happened is because the Emacs nerds, these GNU people, Free Software Foundation fuckheads, they are idiots. They don't see the big picture of society, just like the Linux people. For 20 years, 30 years now, Linux is still hard to use in a niche nobody uses except by the nerds. You have to spend 10 years to study computer science, then you can use Linux. Otherwise it's useless crap. Linux idiots, and they are citing, but Google is using it. Yeah, Google. Go work for Google. And go work for your big brother. These fucking idiots. So Common Lisp, so Emacs Lisp, so why? Okay, let me make one focus point about that. Okay, so you see, Emacs Lisp is insignificant. Okay, from the point of view of human society, of the history of computing, the whole thing, from the point of view of the universe, Emacs Lisp is one of the most fucking useless, insignificant shit in the universe. Okay, as compared to, now that's not the case for Java, Python, Java, Python, PHP, they are significant. Okay, if one of these language dies tomorrow, like if God says PHP go disappear tomorrow, okay, tomorrow there's no more PHP. The world, the earth is going to go into a disaster. You're gonna have people dead. Okay, that's a that's one of the ways you measure the significance of a programming language, is to see what will happen if it disappears tomorrow. PHP, C, C++, Java, Python, they are all extremely significant. Okay, if they disappear tomorrow, you're gonna have problems. Tomorrow people will die, thousands, 10,000s, a million. What about Emacs list? Nothing. If Emacs list disappear tomorrow, we'll just use Vim. This is how insignificant Emacs list is. But however, the Emacs, the GNU people, these nerds, these Linux people, I love Emacs, I love Vim. They are idiots. They have no brain. They don't see this situation. They don't until I mention it. They don't see it. You ask them, they'll say, Emacs list is so important. How can you say it's not important? It's very important. It can make coffee. You can brew coffee. It can make dildos. Oh my God! You can read emails. You can read browsers. These idiots. Okay, Emacs list has no significance. Okay, in the world, generally speaking. So that's the situation. But why? But would it be great if we can make it significant? Yes, we can. But the problem, you see, that's why I blame the Emacs people. The problem is that these nerds, they don't see that. Their view, the blinders, the horse, or BDSM community. You have girls, with the blinders, so you cannot see anything else. You can only see here. That's the nerds. That's these tech geekers, nerds. They don't say nothing. They only see this. Emacs list is great. Emacs is great. Vim sucks. Okay, that's the situation they are in. So they are forever going nowhere. That's my point. That's the point I want to make. I think that's it for today's XahTV. We talked about a lot of things. Thank you guys for coming. It's been a while. It's hot. It can be brew coffee. It making dildo show. The Google censorship is working here. I need to show all things that Google censored. If Google censored it, I'm gonna show it. Okay, yeah, Google censorship. Show. That's what happened with the open source. You love open source. Yeah, I know you guys love open source. All the nerds. Linux is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Open source. That's what happens. Censorship. We need to help. Thank you guys for watching. 17 people concurrent view. So how long I've been talking? We've been talking for 1 hour and 8 minutes. Thank you guys for coming by, and I think that'll be it for today. And we have a few more questions actually. A few more questions, but I don't have to. So there's another question then from wait, So is here. So is the conspiracy theory guy. Okay, so where is the other question? There's another question about this. Ari ran. So he's asking about this guy. Okay, this guy, and then this guy also happened to be Reaper's hero. This guy, I think he's a crackpot. Okay, so he's got a theory of geometric unity. So he's gonna tell us about his theory of the universe, geometric unity. Okay, so what do I think of it? I think it's crap. Okay, don't listen to him. Okay, If first of all, check who is talking. Oh, it's Eric Weinstein talking. Don't listen, don't watch, don't waste your time. First of all, if you want to understand geometric unity of his theory, you should know calculus, group theory, analysis, complex analysis. You should have in general, you should have a equivalent knowledge of a math major, a math degree, 4 years in college studying math. Okay, not just engineering. You should understand all these theories I talk about. Math major, group, modern algebra, symbolic algebra, group theory, analysis, complex analysis, topology. If you already understand that, then okay, my opinion is that go ahead, watch what this guy Eric Weinstein has to say about geometric unity. His theory, geometric unity of first look. Then you do that. Now, if you don't know all these, basic topology, basics of group theory, basics of complex analysis, then don't read it. Okay, what you are doing is you are just fad and fashion fuck. Oh, you think you are listening to a new theory of the universe. It's no. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye.